Okay, so I tried to put it all onto one thing here.
Yeah.
Just so this is the original contract.
Yeah.
Let me put my glasses on so I can see. These darn, I should have brought my readers. Okay, so builder trend.
Yeah.
I understand, right? Gets billed monthly.
Just monthly, yeah.
So that's ever changing.
Yeah.
And then you have the hazmat report.
Yeah.
But that was already done.
Yeah. I'll check and see if we had to do one or not because the dump requires it for drywall disposal. So I think we used the one that you had, but I don't know if they made us run another report or not. So I'll check that.
Yeah.
They require a certain number of months.
Sure, you can check, but I'm pretty sure that never went down. But
okay.
And then so site prep and clean. So we stopped doing the clean because we got our own cleaners to do it.
Yeah, I think we only billed you for the 16 weeks, like was the main project time.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had you guys doing your own.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
The structural engineer, that wasn't used, right? We didn't use the structural engineer for this project?
I'll check and see if he did a sign off on those walls or not.
Okay. And so then coming down here, so I had, so there was some estimates here that were then firmed up with quotes.
Yeah.
So the HVAC 515 that replaced the estimate.
Yeah.
Which was was 420, right? And then the Windows 375, I think that was the same, right?
I actually put Windows at the end. Hang on. 375.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the roof was changed from a repair to a replace.
Yes.
Right. So it was changed from 50 to 75.
75,000, 1342. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So that's correct so far,
Yeah.
right? Okay. And then we had the variance report. That was the first change. Okay.
Yeah.
And so this was just straight off the variance report. So
exactly.
that's what you have.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you had the two invoices. So it was for 50% one time and 50% the other time.
Change orders.
Yeah, the change order, the first change orders.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that was all listed in here.
Yeah.
And this one was including the taxes and fees.
You got it.
On that one, yeah. Okay. And then I don't know where these ones fit. This is now in that next one.
Orders.
That
second sheet.
Yeah.
The second Excel sheet.
So that I think it got confusing because it was when you posted that invoice, it wasn't itemized like the first one.
Oh, I see.
And so it was just off of that sheet.
Because it correlated to the sheet.
Yeah, and there was a lot of changes on that sheet.
A lot.
So it started getting.
Because that was all the final stuff that they decided to go with. Yeah.
And then there was even some switches on there, like with the cubicles and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
So, this is taken from the sheet. Then this is the wireless equipment, the server equipment, minus the rack, and then the rack that you guys had.
Yeah.
And then this was the removing of the PA system and the putting in of the new one.
Yeah.
The new camera.
Yeah.
That were added in the wireless cards.
Yeah.
Good. And so this is as per the change order.
Yeah.
Because on that list it was different, but then you had a change order that had these amounts.
Yeah.
So that these were the two amounts for those two from Builder Trend, the change orders. That's what you got.
Yeah, because we added those after.
Right.
We did the library shelves in the first one, and then this was the furniture, like all the desks.
Yes.
And then we did the knowledge center. We added that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then these were the options of the lights
Yes.
that we had added. So there was multiple options. I just took out and just left the ones there that we actually did,
That we went through.
we went through and we did use.
Yeah.
So included, so this has some electrical, some plugs. Yeah, outlet added in the library for that new library desk.
Yeah.
And then all the different lights
Exactly.
that were coming in there. The underneath the boardroom there and hiding the wire.
Mm-hmm.
The reception lighting.
Yeah.
The labor and light for staff lounge. And then 206 over there, right?
Yeah.
Removing the bulkhead. The new lighting, labor, and the new lighting. And you had it all at 603, 603, 603.
That's
each
right.
of those, okay.
Yeah.
And then the change plates, that was just for purchasing the plates, and I did find those, so they were in the boiler room.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave them to, I think it's Jamie. He gave them to Jamie a while ago. But they didn't want to put them on until everything was like clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I'll leave that for Jamie, because
Okay.
Jamie will.
Yeah, he'll do
Put
it
those on,
eventually,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then the one added outlet in 213 were the cubicles for the new cubicles.
Yep.
And then these are the remaining change orders.
Yeah.
And so and this was the invoice that was given for this, I'm
Mhm.
assuming. Is that correct? The 127,708?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like, I didn't know how that number quite got there.
I'm just looking at it here.
But because this is the only other invoice that kind of correlates to this worksheet.
Invoice 5538. 1 second. 5538. Let's take a look.
Are you able to use Builder Trend on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work on my phone for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
It might just be like an issue.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
If you just log out and log back in, it works like right away. I don't normally do QuickBooks on my phone, but I know I can, so let's just try it. What did we do before phones?
It was a lot of paper.
A lot more simpler
Yeah.
too.
When I used to work with my dad, he had like binders
Yeah,
of paper
smart.
to keep everything together.
I think people had to be way more organized.
Yeah.
It's just loading.
Okay. Well, I'll just.
I'll confirm
Yeah, you
that.
can
So let's
confirm.
put that
So anyway,
5538.
so it was the dimmer, disconnecting the southwest, the new bathroom floor tiles, and so that the waterproof and anti-fracture membrane needs to be still removed from that amount because
Yeah.
that one wasn't put in. Electrical material labors for the projectors.
Mhm.
The outlet installation for the PA system, which is like that estimate there for the PA system. I'm just considering that all kind of
Yeah.
because it was whatever it turns out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the estimate is combined, whatever it ends up being
Yeah.
in the end. And so that's those are the charges, and that's what we have paid for. Is that what you have down?
Yes. The only thing that we need to do is, okay, here we go. Added scope based on sign-off sheet attached, billed at 105 with the holdback. Okay, so we provided an attachment to 5538.
Is
Let's
that
see what this looks like.
is that the
Crashed. It was a big file, I guess.
was that the one that had the variance in one side and the other one on the other side? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And that's the one that we had all the notes, whether it was declined or whether it was as
Yeah,
per call.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do have that. Yeah.
Let's just look at this. Okay, so.
good. I just wanted to make sure that that was what you had there.
Hang on, I can find it here.
So was the 2 invoices that were itemized, the original contract, the windows and HVAC that supplied a quote after the estimate,
Yep.
and then this variance with this other worksheet.
Yeah.
So those were the areas, and then these change orders.
Right, so the variance that we did was the budget versus actual for up to, and the variance report
Up to
said
that date.
up to and including that date.
Yeah.
So the only other thing that there is any variances from that date to the completion of the project, which we can probably send you those now, because we have a very small list of what's remaining, and those items, like, there's no new work happening. So I think we can just give you that report from
Okay.
that date to now, and that's the only difference from this here. And then when we go through each item up here from the budgets, we'll go back, and if we don't have an invoice that corresponds to this line item, then we'll strike it. Like, so I'll show you that credit back.
Okay.
And that's like in the variance, that's like a change order, like not a variance or change order credit, but a variance credit.
Right.
So if we didn't actually do a hazmat report, if the dump took it, which they may have, and I want to say yes, but I'll have to check, then that's a $3,000 credit in your favor.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that you're missing from this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're squared away.
Right. Yes. And so we're just waiting on that report.
Yeah,
for-
and I
for
can
you guys,
probably
so-
send that over now. We were waiting to make sure all the scope was finished.
Yeah.
But we'll walk through today. I'm pretty sure that there's like a couple of items that are left, right?
Yes. So we can do
Let's
that.
go through that now.
Yeah, we can go
And I
through
can
that
try and
now.
open that again.
And I don't know why it doesn't send, but so this was as of the
The 8th,
8th,
right?
and that was the last one that I
Yes.
sent. Let me try to send that to you again.
March 8th, that's the last one I have.
Share and export. Maybe no. Send a copy. Maybe if I send it as a Word document, it might be better. We'll
Okay.
see. I don't know.
What is it today? 20? I should know that. Okay, I'm open now, so this looks good.
Okay, so it came through.
Yeah, I got it.
Miracles.
So the breakers, he said that he had labeled the, is that still on the list? Because he had said that that was completed.
Yeah, I don't think it is complete because like when it went in that front corner room there, or not, sorry, in the atrium, the front corner and attached to the projectors,
Yeah,
we had no idea where it was, and it was on that, it was like on a major, like massive switch that had no label on it.
okay,
And so that's just one of the ones, so.
Okay.
And so I know that one has not been labeled, so I'm assuming the other ones were not all labeled. Maybe he labeled some of them.
okay. Okay, so I just checked with him now, because he had it marked off as completed on his list. So I've texted him now. I know that we gave him the 2 replacement lights for the hallway.
Oh, give you a rundown of that? You mean the hanging ones?
Yeah,
Okay,
like, because those discs that we installed, you guys didn't like, and we
Yeah.
wanted the hanging ones.
Yeah.
So I had sent you one, like, to approve, and you said, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I gave them to him like 3 weeks ago, but I
Okay.
know he hasn't put them up. So that's on his list.
yeah, he must have been confused, because I think right after that, after I approved those, he installed the disc lights.
I know, he got confused with
Yeah.
it, so no problem. At least there's lights there now, but he
Yeah.
will change those this week.
Okay.
Okay, so still no financial report delivered. We talked about that, so
Yeah.
I'll send you that variance.
Okay.
And then you'll have everything.
So the BC Hydro did send us an email yesterday, and I called them this morning. He said that you guys sent it to the wrong email address.
I wrote them back yesterday.
And, yeah,
on
and
info.
so he says
Yeah.
he's going to take a look at them today. So.
Okay, good, perfect. So as long as he goes through, like, we're just waiting for them now to approve everything.
Mm-hmm. So tell me how that will work. So when they approve it, which will be hopefully
There's
today.
two approvals that are needed.
Okay.
His approval,
Yeah.
which is design,
Yeah.
right, related, which they've already told us what to do, so it should be very straightforward.
Yeah.
The second approval is the claim. He doesn't have the ability to approve the claim.
Oh, okay.
You're talking to Christopher Pickwell, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the one who made the mistake.
Yeah.
So try not to talk to him if you can. His supervisor is Casey Hilton,
Mm-hmm.
and so I always just go to Casey
Okay.
because Casey has a lot more pull.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Christopher is that he's made this error to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm not like comfortable dealing
Yeah.
with him
No,
anymore.
he probably won't want to.
No.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Cover
super
his-
frustrated
yeah.
with him,
Yeah.
and so Casey is the guy to deal with there.
Okay.
He can approve the design, which they've already done. They held Chris's hand and did it, and that's fine. But so it's just stamping the forms that they're
Mhm.
completed. The issue is the claim,
Mm-hmm.
and Casey has been talking to the claims people,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna get the claim approved.
Okay.
So
Good.
two things to get approved. So forms, simple, and claim, it's the higher ups.
But Casey's pretty sure he can get that approved.
He already said that
And
it
can you-
seems pretty like
Good. Can
Yeah.
you tell me exactly what is in the claim that will be approved?
I can send you a copy. I think it's like $80,000.
And is so
the
it's
difference in the cost.
okay. So
Yeah.
it is the full connection. It's that
Everything.
the room.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
The
perfect.
room's not included because they
Mhm.
won't cover that. Like what Hydro said is that you would have had to pay for that anyway. But what they are going to cover is all the work that's been done to date,
Yeah.
which was like that change order, right?
Yeah.
Based on what they had approved originally
Yeah.
for the design.
Yeah.
And then the difference in the cost. So we had to prepare, we had to get the electrician to prepare like a really detailed scope of work of what he had completed,
Yeah.
because they owe us for that.
Yeah.
And then a really detailed scope of work of what's extra. And most of it is the equipment, because when you switch from a 2-phase or a new service to a 1-phase,
Mm-hmm.
which is what they're doing, now they're upgrading it to 600 amp,
Mm-hmm.
that requires 50 grand in equipment.
Mm-hmm.
But we had already paid for the other equipment,
Mm-hmm.
which is already installed and ready to go. It's just waiting a hookup.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to reimburse for the materials and labor for the first one.
And they're gonna pay for, are they gonna pay for the cleaning out of that equipment? Because
Yes.
there's also the cement that was poured and the ceiling and
Yeah.
everything else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They may or they may not, like the inspector's gonna wait to, when they approve it, the
Mhm.
claim, the inspector's gonna come and tell us what he wants removed and kept.
Mm-hmm.
Because he may want like a wire fished back into the other panel. So we're not gonna remove it yet,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll wait till the inspector comes here.
Mm-hmm.
So they're responsible to pay for all of it, and Casey seems to think that it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave them 2 other cost-effective options,
Mm-hmm.
and they declined those. They said that they'll pay for the higher amount because they don't want to put a second service in,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to split the transformer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying that there's still gonna be a cost on our end though?
The only cost is to build the room.
So
And I know that Chris Williams was saying that you guys had discussed whether like we would build it or if someone else was gonna build it.
Yeah.
So we're happy to build it, that's not
Mhm.
a problem. We're waiting for Hydro's approval, and then we can give you a price for that. And Chris was saying he thinks it's 1 or 2 days
Mm-hmm.
for 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a huge deal in
Mhm.
terms of cost on our end, because you have our hourly rate,
Mhm.
it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris would do it with a helper.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, in terms of like doors and the expensive stuff, all that gets reused. So, but if you guys want to build it, you can.
Okay, so, but they'll give you, or there'll be a design for the room that they want, that BC Hydro wants?
They give us their parameters,
Yeah.
and then we send them back
Okay.
like a drawing,
Yeah,
saying like it's gonna be this by this, and then they sign off on that.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
so we'll have an approval first.
Okay, then if we can have, as soon as possible too, a price so that Tammy can take a look at it.
I'll give you a draft,
Yeah,
subject to change based on Hydro's request.
okay.
Because they don't actually tell us the final size until they approve the forms and the claim.
Right,
And so I'll say to you, based on our conversations, this is our best guess. If it tweaks a little bit, like if they want a fire rated door, or if they, like, I don't know, you know, like whatever they request, these crazy things.
right,
But based on what we've talked about now, I'll give you that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So Vanessa to send. And then cost. For Hydro. Okay.
so I haven't been through, but did your guy coming through to mud?
He did.
He did,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, and then when is Ray coming to install?
He's on spring break.
Yeah.
So as soon as spring break's over, I think
He's on spring break.
April.
Does he have kids?
He does. One maybe.
Oh, okay,
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
all right.
April.
I didn't know he had kids, so.
Yeah, April 2nd or something
Okay.
like that. So he's back April 2nd.
Okay,
Okay, so next, window handles.
the
So
window handles and the windows, right, that's all?
that's
part
all,
of it.
well,
I talked to Damien, he said that he has all of it with him, so I don't know if there's something that you guys can do where you can get it from him to use.
well, what, we're waiting for his lawyer to reply.
Yeah,
His lawyer said that he didn't have any retainer from him. So the guy doesn't have money to like deal with the lawyer.
right,
So my lawyer will send, if he says that he has the parts, then that's fine. We'll send another email, like my lawyer can send another letter saying, you know, we're giving you the opportunity to mitigate your losses. We've been doing this. We've
Yeah.
now placed orders.
yeah,
You know, blah, blah, blah. Because you can't withhold parts and not install them, leave them
Mhm.
half finished, like they're not usable then.
yeah. And so are you guys past the date where you have to wait for him anymore? Like,
We're past that date.
yeah,
Yes.
and so you guys did put in the order for the windows?
We did, yeah.
And so
They're
it's,
cancelable for up to 2 weeks.
and
So
so,
he technically has, you know, a week and a half to get his act together
right, okay,
because the order's in. But for
Right.
2 weeks, it's cancelable because they don't pick up the order to start it.
right.
Yeah.
And then you
So-
said they would be ready about halfway through April?
2 more weeks, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then Chris thinks he needs 2 or 3 days. Like it's not a big deal for
Right,
him and our guys to put them in because the installers are now booking out to May and June. So we'll just do it ourselves.
right,
We'll just put them in.
okay.
Um,
And then the handles as well, because he put in the minimum
Yeah,
amount of handles,
so-
so there's a large load of
okay. So
windows that have no handles.
we need a list for that. So do you want to go through together and make one?
Sure,
Okay, so we'll do that today because we don't have a detailed list.
hi Leanne, I'm just at work in a meeting. Okay,
Okay, so PA system, window handles, epoxy. We've removed that from the list because we've paid him in full. If there's anything that we need him to come back for touch-ups, then he's happy to come back.
okay.
Is there any spots for touch-ups?
Well, we can move past that because
Okay.
I think, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
let's move past that
South
for now.
siding still needs to be removed for new windows applied. That's finished.
The siding out front was
Yes.
moved here?
Yeah.
It was?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay,
let's go look at that.
sure.
South siding. Removed, because all the scaffolds set up.
Okay,
HVAC vents need to fit tight. If wood casing is used, must be caulked and painted. Rooms that we still noted. Okay, so we should look at these.
Okay.
218, 213, 209. HVAC. In between the staff room, 204 and 205, and 114. So you're saying, because he says that the painter says that he did a walkthrough with you guys and was signed off. So let's just go back.
The painter, yes, but so this is the fitting around the glass. So I don't know if this is the painter.
Oh, I see.
This
okay.
is, yeah, this
Let's
would be,
go take a
there's still gaps there, so something needs to be put around it so that those gaps aren't there
Yeah.
or seen.
Okay, and then HVAC
It's
wires.
just finishing around it, so,
Okay, let's go take a look.
yeah.
And then HVAC wires to be hidden throughout.
Yeah, we can walk around and look at that.
Let's
But
look
there's,
at that.
but there's, yeah. And in some places, unfortunately, it's been mudded and everything, but the wires are not placed on top hidden. They're hanging down low, or they're still hanging at an angle, or.
Okay, well, let's take a look. HVAC units outside are missing some covers and one loose wire.
I think we can take a look at that out here, out this side here.
Okay.
So I think 3 of them or 2 of them have their covers on the fittings, but but one of them never had it out there, so I don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
Oh, and then downstairs, it's still the drywall still is not fully finished.
Okay, let's look at
Painted
that.
out.
106 drywall. So was that not something that the painter should have flagged? Because he did the final little drywall touch-ups.
Well, I think Chris was going to touch that up.
Okay, we'll take a look.
Yeah, I think there was still one area where he still was going to place in
Okay.
some more drywall.
Okay, cleanup of new painting mistakes on wood. I think they went through. He said he went through and got a sign off. So all that, anything else that's remaining is older paint, right?
Yeah, this is something that I don't think we never agreed on.
Right.
Whether it's old or new. So I just say let's just move past it for now.
Okay.
Because
Is there specific spots? Like, is there 1 or 2 spots that are like an irritant that we could deal with? Like specifically a couple?
I mean, it's throughout, and
Okay.
and it's mixed in where there's like the old paint, and then but
Right.
then there's some new paint that's beside it. So, and some of it is also might be drywall guck. So I'm not sure whether it's drywall guck or paint.
Okay.
So some of it, like down in that corner room that was done, that when the mudder came through and did that box. There's a mess on the ceiling, and I don't know whether it's paint or whether it's drywall mud. So.
Okay. So let's make a list of that, and if there's like 1 or 2 spots that you need us to deal with that are bad, then okay. If it's a whole bunch of stuff, then we have to go back to the painter and see if he's open to doing that change order that we had, because he had provided us a cost before.
Yeah.
To clean it all up.
To clean the whole thing up?
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, it was like, I think $3 or $4 grand or something.
Right.
And he said that he would go through each one, and
Yeah.
so if you.
I mean, that would be ideal for him to come and do it all,
But
because
we gotta
then
look at.
because then there's no argument about whether it's old or new.
Yeah, if that change order is approved, I just need to make sure that he can send a body.
Okay.
And then we gotta look at exactly the spots.
Whether he's still willing to.
He said
to
he
do that.
was, and then he said he wasn't, and then now he might be. I don't know.
Okay.
He seemed to feel a little bit better about everything
Okay.
at the end. So, cleanup of construction garbage. So that was done.
Yeah, that looks good.
Cleanup of the window and floor tape.
Oh, so sorry, the HVAC. There's also, so we can take a look at it, but some of the wires that he had taped around, that where he put a wire around the vent, the corrugated tubing,
Yeah.
and he taped some of it, So that just should be removed, so it's not.
So this is the cleanup of the window and floor tape? Is that line item?
No, this is going back to the HVAC.
Oh,
So
okay.
just there's the wires, and then there's the electrical wires for the then there's like tape that's put around the wire to hold up the vent tubing.
Okay, so let's go look at
And
those
some of
items.
it has tape on it, like green tape or something, just to keep it in place while they taped it off, and they never removed it. So
Okay, we'll look at that. Cleanup of construction garbage around
Yeah,
the
that was
building,
done.
he did that.
Yeah.
Cleanup of the window and floor tape.
oh yeah, so there's last time I checked, there was still tape on, like where they went through and they taped up when they caulked it.
Okay,
They
so
keep
we
in
we just gotta look at that.
Yeah.
I
And then
had
on the
him-
floor, there was brown paper put down and tape put down on it.
Okay,
And then, but it was never removed, and so our guys removed it, but the tape is now like,
oh, like the gunk from it?
yeah,
Okay,
it's like stuck on.
okay,
the
we
floor.
gotta look at each spot individually so I can record
Sure.
it. Install of new windows, yes, we know that.
Right.
Atrium, hiding of exposed HVAC cables. So they just haven't popped off that panel yet. They were gonna pop that panel off and run it back.
Run it up up behind the siding.
Yeah, so they'll
yes.
do that, that's fine. Both gas-fired units, yes, we're waiting for hydro. Staining of the new wood, they did complete that.
No, the one around the
Oh,
firebox.
that one spot,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I can get them to do that. First floor damaged
I
T-bar.
think there's just the one. It's
Okay.
outside the bookstore, the bathroom that keeps
Okay,
clogging.
you can show me that. Lights reinstalled, wear removed for HVAC
We
installation.
talked about that already, about the hanging lights that you were gonna.
Yeah, okay. These were replaced with flat lights that cash has, okay. Repair damaged insulation tape around the south hallway.
Yeah, so you guys did the north hallway, but the south hallway was not done.
Yeah, and then stain the damaged wood transition caused when floor sanding, okay. I think they did that, we'll go take a look.
Yeah, they replaced it. I don't think they
stained it.
it's just plain wood though, so.
Got it, okay. And then 105, outside HVAC needs to finish, drywall needs to be tight. Let's go look at that,
Yeah.
because I think they might have done that. The door stop, I gave them a few, so we'll see if that's on. New wall is still unfinished inside and out.
Yeah, it's just
105.
basically that whole
Oh, that's
inside.
that room.
It's that 105, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
that electrical.
Yeah, that whole
It's
room
all,
is
the
gonna
whole
be done
room's
later.
unfinished, so.
Yeah, okay, so let's skip 105, and that was it.
Yeah, well, except for, let's not skip 105 because let's talk about the data drops.
Yes. We have we had an approval for was the outlets approved in that room? Or the data, one was approved and one wasn't. So I'll get that information for you.
So, yeah,
One of them had a change order that was approved and one didn't. We were just waiting for that. So I should review that and chat with you
yeah.
about it.
And so this was the map that you guys were working off of, that had the data drops there and in there. And so those are the
Is the data drops
remaining data
missing?
drops. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's only one data drop in room 116.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's only the one data drop in 105.
And so you're saying that you need 3 data drops? 3 in 105, and currently there's 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back and look at that and
Sure.
get back to you. We had talked about this. One of the 2, which I can't recall off the top of my head, was approved as a change order and the other wasn't. If it's data drops, I have to just talk to Ray about it. If there's a reason why he left it out. That was the storage room. So it's possible that he's like, yeah, I coiled them up and I have to just pull them down.
Mm-hmm.
So let me figure that out with him.
Okay.
Okay. The next one was electrical mess. Yeah, okay, we know
Mhm.
about that. 110 door stop. We'll check on that because they gave them some. And the repair around the new HVAC, that should have been finished. Because I think that the paint was signed off, right?
Well, that drywall work had to be done, so.
think
There's,
he
there-
did
there's,
it, the
there's,
painter.
well, I don't think that was the painter's work though, because Chris was actually gonna do that,
Okay,
but then he left, and
Okay.
he hasn't come back, so.
okay. Need hole and grommet by the projector for the power cord and PA cable. Yeah, the grommet's here. Cover the clean out.
Yeah, there's that one clean out in the north,
114.
in the north wall that's still not done.
114.
That's the middle room,
Oh, okay.
the middle classroom.
Okay, that's fine. HVAC not finished tight to the window. Let's
Yeah.
go look at that because he
I
did
think that's
come-
one of the only ones that's not done.
Yeah, it's just one piece of wood, right? Okay, 116 clean up. Some rough drywall patches. We'll take a look at that. Clean mud, paint, splatters. So he said that he finished 116.
Who?
The painter. He came back and finished 116.
Oh, we can go take a look, but
Let's go take a look.
there's a couple spots
Okay.
that are still unfinished, so.
Okay. New bathroom, floor transition too short. We ordered a new one. So they have it at the shop. They can install it. Push plate and bar, just confirm that you like that.
Yes, and it's good. So
It's good?
Dana said go ahead.
Okay, good. No handicap toilet. They left that on my list. So I have to talk to the supplier because we did order one.
Okay.
Metal cladding needed around the partition where the wheelchairs will hit.
This was disputed, so I just left that on there because that's something that we're still in discussion about. I know
Okay.
you guys said you're
Let's
not
go-
gonna do that.
Let's go talk about where you would want it and what it would look like.
Okay.
Holes in partitions were drilled by mistake, also in tiles.
Chris said he was gonna fill that, but he
Okay.
left before he was gonna do that,
Okay,
so.
he can come back and do that. Grab bars and partitions only held in the wall by pieces of plywood. Yeah, we talked about that. Repair damaged ceiling tiles. I think there's a box here,
Yeah, there's a
Extra.
box, yeah,
so Chris can swap that out.
okay.
Clean out should be low profile with tapered edges.
Mm-hmm.
The clean out that's in there now,
Yeah,
it's been in there for like 3 months. We said it was good, right?
well, no. So it hasn't been in there for 3 months, but it's, I wanted it, we talked about it before, and I wanted it hollowed out on that side, because I wanted it as low as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
And then I wanted it tapered so that it's not an abrupt, so somebody can hit into it, like it's sticking out like this far from the wall.
Okay. Well, let's go look and see what we can do about it. I know they hollowed it out, but if they have to router it, then we can if needed.
It's just, it's in the brand new bathroom, everything else looks
Yeah.
good, but that just looks so ugly.
Yeah.
Like,
Hole in tile needs to be replaced. Let's look at that. 113 loose hanging wires. Which one's 113? It's right beside.
that's the one we looked at before, yeah, it's the mechanical room. Remember, there's those
Yeah.
2 wires that are just hanging down?
Okay, we can pin those back. So he has to do that. The electrician has to do that.
And 112 is the corner room, which still needs a doorstop, and it has, that's the one that has the mud splattered on the ceiling. It's
Okay.
mud or paint, I think it's mud, but,
Let's go look at it. Triple pane window, yes, I've ordered that, so
Okay.
they'll come and install it, probably over spring break. 213, they put the grill on, right?
so it was in that top corner. No, they put the wood return around it, everything's ready to go, but they don't have the grill. I don't know what's going on. We can take a look again, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not there. It wasn't there when I looked on Saturday, so.
Okay. 212, HVAC vent needs to be finished tight to the windows. I think they did all those, so let's go look. Window handle loose and rubs on the window. Okay. 210 exposed HVAC wires, old sprinkler head. Okay. That's the spirit room.
Yeah.
Those HVAC wires, were they tucked in?
So
I think he
he
did
has
most
one
of them, right?
just hanging down.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah, it going to one spot.
Okay.
So I don't know if he can loosen it up from the indicator,
Let's see.
the reader.
Yeah.
And then pull it back in, because there's a spot where other wires have been hidden.
Mhm.
If it could have been dropped there and then run along the bottom instead of dropped in the middle,
Yeah.
it would have been completely hidden, so.
Okay. The
And I don't
H-
even know if he can splice it and then do it and then drop it down and put it back.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
we have to check. 209, finish areas around HVAC and glass. I think, let's go look at that, because he finished the glass a couple weekends ago.
Glass is fine, it's just the finishing around it, yeah.
Okay. Install 6 new windows and trim, yes. Finish HVAC, we'll look at that.
Same thing, yeah.
Triple pane, yeah.
That's the other one that had the.
Yeah. Ceiling tile tight to junction box, too close for a ceiling tile.
Yeah, so I think when the electrician came back and he removed one of the ceiling tile and he put a junction box up there, but it's too tight to this, and the ceiling tile won't go back in.
Okay.
It's
that's
too
fine.
tight.
We can fix that. 205, finish areas around HVAC and glass, install 3 new windows.
Same thing, yeah.
204,
Same thing.
yeah, okay. 214, damaged metal around new window, northwest corner, okay, we'll look at that. Remove and patch old
Yeah,
furnace.
and so in that 204, the painter painted it, but it wasn't, the mud wasn't finished.
204.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that one spot that was in the corner. It was a hole there for a long time, and then they came back and put a patch on it,
Yeah,
and then mudded it once.
okay.
But
Let's
yeah,
look at it.
wasn't- Yeah.
Okay, 214, damaged metal around new window. Okay, we'll look at that. 215, remove and patch removed furnace control, patch and paint hole. 215.
Oh yeah, there two. Yeah, so that's the middle room. There's a patch there's a old furnace control that's left on that was left on that room.
Okay, we'll look at that. 218.
That's going to Tammy's office.
Oh.
The HVAC is still not done.
I know, they were gonna cut the hole in the glass. Did they cut it?
They did, yeah.
Okay, good. Now he can come back and do that. Boardroom, outside hall, still some unfinished exposed areas.
It's just a little area right there. So again, Chris was going to do that, and then.
Okay, we'll look at that. 219 needs a doorstop. 220, install 1 new upper window.
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
one upper
we
window
have it.
is the left.
We have it on the list. Add vent for hole cut in soundproof glass.
So you
Yes.
said that was going to be vented. Right?
Darcy was gonna supply us with
Okay.
one. Clean drywall paint
It's just in that
splatters
corner.
on wall wood.
So
That one?
Not this one. It's in the
The other
room
side,
back there. Yeah,
okay.
it was never cleaned up.
221, on the new upper work, clean drywall mud, 221. Okay, let's
Oh,
look
yeah.
at that.
This,
Is this 22? No, her office is
It's
221.
outside
Okay,
221.
okay,
Yeah.
and that's everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, do you want to start from the beginning and go through?
Sure.
Okay. Then I can at least just get some photos.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn this off now. I think
Yeah.
verbally went over everything.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. Okay.